Greetings guys, gals, non-binary pals, and welcome back to another video. I hope that you are well and I hope that you are fighting because there is a lot to be fighting for. As usual, there'll be a link in the description to the page on my website with a bunch of petitions, donations, emails to send to MPs, etc, etc. Today we are looking at some conservative memes because they are very, very funny. Not in the way that they are intended to be, but nonetheless, they are so funny, and I wanted to look at some and talk about them because there's like a good mix of being so stupid it's funny and also extremely problematic, and it's a bit of a mixed bag. So we're gonna look at some of those. We're gonna have a bit of a laugh, a bit of a chat, and yeah, I'm gonna shut up and we're gonna get into it. I am here to interrupt myself to let you know about today's sponsor, Surfshark. In case you weren't aware, Surfshark is an app or browser extension that allows you to change your location to almost anywhere in the world. This is really cool for a whole number of reasons. My favorite being you can change what content is available to you based on your region. So if you want to watch something on Netflix that isn't available to you in your country, you can just go on to Surfshark and change your country and watch Netflix from another region. So back home in New Zealand, my comfort show is New Girl, and New Girl was removed from New Zealand Netflix. So I would just go on to Surfshark and switch to the US, and then there it is. I can watch New Girl again and be happy. Fantastic. On top of this, Surfshark also adds an extra layer of protection to all of your internet usage by encrypting your data. This means that everything you do and store online is kept completely safe. So if you're on dodgy public Wi-Fi, because a lot of it is, there is an extra layer there so hackers can't access your information. Surfshark also doesn't track or store any of your data, so with all of this combined, you can use the internet completely safely and worry-free no matter where you are or what you're doing. It's also available on multiple devices at any given time, so you can be in Starbucks using their public Wi-Fi and like shopping on your phone without worrying anyone's gonna steal your credit card details while watching New Girl on your laptop. It's a win-win. Nothing really gets better than that. So if this all sounds good to you and you would like to try Surfshark, you can use the link in the description and my code QueerKiwi, and you get 83% off as well as your first 3 months completely free. And if that doesn't sound good to you, I don't know what does. Thank you so much, Surfshark, and let's get into the video. Socialists think no one should be able to own a home like this. Capitalists think everyone should be able to own a home like this. Conservatives just really don't understand what anything is or how anything works at all. Are they aware that we currently live under capitalism and a majority of people can't afford houses like that because we live under capitalism? Are they just like not aware that that is a thing? Are they not aware? There's so many conservative memes about like capitalism and socialism and communism where it's like capitalism is great, socialism is doing this to society, but like no, it's not. Capitalism is doing that to society because we live in a capitalistic society. These capitalists, they're like, we want everyone to be able to buy these homes. That's what capitalism is for, so everyone can buy them. Okay then, you want everyone to be able to buy those homes? Fix the housing market. Make them cheaper. Raise minimum wage. That's a start. Maybe then more people will be able to afford them, because at the moment, there's a lot of people who can't afford any type of house, any type of living. There's a lot of homeless people out there because capitalism, at least under socialism, even if not everyone has a house like that, they have a house. So, checkmate, I guess. This girl is 15 and you're 28. Why are you dating her? Because it's legal in this country. Now, firstly, just because something is legal does not make it moral. Secondly, it's not. That's not how the consent laws work. I think this is a really common misconception about young consent laws. So in a lot of places, to my knowledge, most places, with the age of consent under 18, That's not saying that you are legal at that age and then everyone can sleep with you. It's legal for anyone between the age of consent and 18 to have sex. And then it's legal for anyone over 18 with anyone over 18 to have sex. You can't be over 18 and sleeping with someone under 18, even if they are of legal age. That's how the consent law works. Teenagers are going to have sex, regardless of whether it's legal or not. They're going to have sex. And by making the age of consent lower, it means that they can do that without fear. So it just makes it easier to go to like family planning and the doctor and like things like that. So that's why the age of consent is lower. So the age of consent in Germany is 14, by the way. I didn't say that. But if you are over 18, you still can't have sex with a 14-year-old. You can't have sex with a 15-year-old, 16-year-old, 17-year-old. That's how the age of consent works. It works like that in Germany. It works like that in the UK. It works like that in New Zealand, although the ages are 16 there. I don't know about everywhere in the world, but that's definitely how it works in most places that I know of. So yeah, just all round wrong. And also just gross. It's just gross. There's a reason why the age of consent is in place. There's a reason why it's gross and seen as immoral to sleep with a 15-year-old. If you are over 18, why do you want to sleep with a 15-year-old? That's so gross. That's so gross. Why is that? That's a child. Why is it appealing to anyone? Disgusting. Go to jail. Thank you. In this course, we're going to discuss the evils of capitalism. Did everyone buy my $600 textbook? Professors don't choose how much textbooks cost. That's not how it works. They teach the class, and the people go to the class to learn things. The professors don't choose how much the textbooks are. That's not how this works. And even so, I don't know how many times we have to say this. We live in a capitalistic society. You can't just avoid capitalism because you don't agree with it. That's not how that works. That's not how that works at all. I still have to have a job and earn money and pay bills, even though I would like to not. Regardless of how we feel about capitalism, we still live under capitalism. We still have to contribute to capitalism because otherwise we die. They don't have a choice. They have to buy the $600 textbook because what else are they gonna do? You have to give in to capitalism to fight capitalism. And it's a shit, but that's kind of the only option that we have because we don't have another choice. If I could avoid capitalism, I would, but I can't, so. You know what makes me feel the most empowered as a woman? It's not getting an abortion or rapping about a wet ass pussy. It's being a good housewife and cooking for my husband. Good for you, Caitlin. I do not care at all. I don't give two shits. I do not care what you choose to do with your life. If that empowers you, good for you. I'm happy for you. Keep doing that. I'm not trying to stop you. Literally no one is trying to stop you from living whatever life you want to live. The problem is that you think that you have the authority to tell other women what empowers them. You think that you are right, and the only thing that is right is what you do, and no one else is allowed to do anything at all that you don't agree with. You know what you could do? Do your own thing and let other women do their own thing. Why does it impact you? Why do you care? Just shush. just shush. I fully support you wanting to be a housewife and doing whatever it is. If that makes you happy and that makes you feel empowered, go off. You do you. Just let me live my life. There are so many ways to feel empowered, and it's not one extreme or the other. There is so much in between and so many different things that work for so many different people. So whatever makes you feel empowered, as long as it's not hurting you or anyone else, fucking go for it. Just go for it. Do what makes you happy. It's literally none of anyone else's business. So Caitlin Bennett, shut up. Be a housewife. We don't care. Just keep it to yourself. Believes education should be free. Thinks teachers should get paid more. Yes. Yes, exactly. We do. And I don't understand why that's written out like it's a bad thing. Why? I spent a long time looking at this trying to figure out what the problem was. I had to send it to Kat. Like, I don't understand. What's wrong with this? Why is anyone opposed to this? And she pointed out that it's probably because they're saying that how are they going to pay teachers if education is free? So I would just like to take a moment and say that the government has enough money to be paying teachers more and having education free. Like more than enough. This is from Turning Point USA, so I'm going to use the US as an example here, okay? The US military budget in the year of 2020 was $714 billion. Yeah, $714 billion on the military. There are 3.6 million teachers. Now, the average wage for a teacher in the US is $62,000 a year. If you double that and paid that entire amount from the military budget, the entire $120,000 from the military budget, you would still have $294 billion left of that military budget. And then it costs $20 billion to end homelessness in the US, which takes it to $273 billion remaining. And it's an estimated $25 billion to remove hunger from the US, which takes you down to $249 billion still remaining of the military budget from where we started after doubling teacher salary, ending homelessness, and ending hunger. $249 billion you still have to spend on the military, which, why do you need to spend that on the military? There is a lot more things to be spending money on than like weapons and war. I don't know, that could just be me, but seems like a pretty bad use of money. Another way to contrast this, just for a little bit of fun, just cause why not? It's estimated to cost $330 billion a year to end world hunger. That is less than half of the US military budget. Less than half of the military budget could end world hunger. And I know it's not like the American government or American taxpayers' job to end world hunger. I don't expect them to do that. This is just a matter of putting it into perspective of how much money is going into the military. That is so much money being spent on weapons and invading countries and war and just violence and death. And it's just awful. There are so many better things to be spending your money on than the obscene amount of weaponry that exists in the US. Something like the US could destroy the entire world 8 times and they're still building weapons? Why? Stop. We get it. We get it. You have money. You have big bombs. Good for you. Now stop making more. Pay teachers. Please stop. We can work this out. We gonna burn this city to the ground. I want a fair election. Time to die. Literally nothing about that is accurate at all. Did we live through the same events? Were we both like on the planet at the same time? Because as far as I'm aware, the Black Lives Matter thing that I'm pretty sure they're referring to here started because a cop killed a black person and they continue to kill black people and they were actively harming hundreds and hundreds of people at the protests. The police were doing that. They weren't threatening white people. Remember when white conservatives stormed the Capitol because they didn't think it was a fair election? And the police just let them in? What about this image is true? Literally nothing. Do you just live your life like this? This is how you live your life, right? Oh, like this. This is like this? Is that how you live your life? Because it must be, if you think that anything about this is an accurate representation. Gun control really worked. Then explain to me why England is the most violent country in Europe and Chicago is the most violent city in America. Guns are banned in England and Chicago. This is so funny to me because I like that they didn't even say gun violence is the worst in England. They just said violence because gun violence and violence are the same thing, obviously. So guns are banned in like all of Europe. As far as I'm aware, there are very strict gun laws in all of Europe, England included, right? There has to be a most violent place. Somewhere is going to be the worst. And even then, I don't think that's true. But they didn't put the US and England next to each other because you know what happens when you put the US, where the gun laws are pretty much non-existent, next to England that has strict gun laws? Yeah, this happens. The difference is astronomical. It's astronomical. And you go to like school shootings. Between 2009 and 2018, the US have had 288 school shootings. The UK has had 0. But go off, tell me how gun laws don't work. You want to keep... Okay, we're going to look at another one. International comparison of gun-related killings as a percentage of all homicides. In the US, 73% of all murder is by gun. In the UK, it's 4%. And those numbers of how many people are killed are much lower in the places that don't have guns, because it's much harder to kill someone with like a knife or by hand. That's much harder. Less people do it. It's very easy to kill someone with a gun. You can do that on accident. It's very hard to kill someone by accident any other way. So gun laws, yeah, they do a pretty good job. In terms of Chicago having the strictest gun laws, firstly, they don't. That is a common misconception that people love to bring up. It's not true. Secondly, state lines don't really stop people from bringing guns in. It's very, very easy to cross a state line with a gun that you've bought in a different state. Like, that's not a difficult thing to do. And also, you can still have guns. The laws are just slightly stricter. I just don't understand this logic. It's so stupid. So many conservatives say this. They're like, yeah, but like, people will still die. Obviously, people will still die, but less people are gonna die. We need guns to protect ourselves. Against what? Other guns? Okay, you know what would eliminate the problem? No guns. How do you defend yourself against someone with a gun? Well, if no one had guns in the first place, you wouldn't need to defend yourself, would you? Exactly. Stupid. This was meant to be like a fun, lighthearted video. It never goes that way. Once upon a time, I made a lot lighter videos. There were a few months last year where I was making like more lighthearted, fun videos, and then I just got angry and depressed. And now I'm finding it very difficult to make anything that isn't just, I'm so angry all the time. Yeah, I tried to make them slightly lighter and I just can't, because I have, I hope you enjoyed them though. Thank you so much for coming along. A huge thank you to my Kiwi Fruit and Kiwi Bird channel members whose names are up on the screen right now. And a massive thank you to my channel member of the day, Anna. I love and appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for joining. If you would like to become a channel member, you can click the top link in the description or the little blue join button. You get my videos a day early, as well as 10% off my shop when I have things back up and running. And as a Kiwi Bird member, you get some extra footage sometimes that doesn't make it into the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm trying to get more subscribers than I do TikTok followers because I don't use TikTok. And that's 280k. We can do that. We're not too far off. 280k is an achievable goal. So please subscribe. Let's get there. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram, The Queer Kiwi, and Twitter, That Queer Kiwi. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe. Keep fighting. I love you. Mwah.